Let's go ahead and start talking about Abby Shapiro. Now, granted, there is at least one other Abby on the platform now who is infinitely better and more reasonable to listen to. So if you desperately need an Abigail in your life, please consider watching PhilosophyTube. But if it is ear bleeding and hemorrhaging of the brain you're looking for, then I'm sure Abby Shapiro will suffice. So, let's go ahead and get right in to Abby Shapiro telling us about men in dresses.
Hello, classic crew, and welcome to today's episode of The Scoop. If you are new to my channel, The Scoop is our opportunity to just catch up, chat about what went on over the course of the week, talk about what's going on in our lives, and act as if we're just grabbing a cup of coffee together. And there's...
I don't want to grab a cup of coffee with you, Abby. I have zero want to grab a cup of coffee with you, but let's imagine what a cup of coffee would be like with you.
Always some fun things going on in the world. It's kind of an opportunity to talk about things that are happening in the zeitgeist and also just things that I've been doing and enjoying. I love hearing what you guys have been up to, so please leave that in the comments. I always read them. Grab yourself a cup of coffee. I've got mine right here today. Have some tea or just some water, whatever you are drinking.
I will drink copious amounts of Diet Dr. Pepper.
And let's get into it. The first thing I want to talk about today is something that kind of went viral on Twitter, and that was Harry Styles in a dress on the cover of Vogue. Yeah, that really happened.
And I mean, far be it from me in this particular situation to say anything about people in dresses.
It's 2020. Anything can happen, it seems. So basically what happened is that Candace Owens commented on the fact that Harry Styles was in a dress. And so did a few other commentators on Twitter, and it kind of blew up. Now, as somebody who really values masculinity and finds masculinity very attractive, I don't find Harry Styles in a dress attractive.
And who cares? No, seriously. I hear this point all the time in regards to stuff like this. I don't personally find it attractive. Hold on. It's always like this. You may think that's attractive, but I don't personally find it attractive. Not me. And I just have to ask, like, in reality, what does it matter if you don't find it attractive? Like, really? It doesn't matter. That's not a point. Moreover, you think that this is not a demonstration of masculinity, but can I ask you, what is more masculine than somebody who is willing to present feminine and then still be entirely comfortable in their masculinity? That is somebody whose masculinity is so strong that they are willing to do anything and still come out the other end without questioning themselves. That is a larger and stronger display of masculinity to me than just wearing a suit comfortably.
And this is something that kind of became part of the joke, is that people were saying, oh my gosh, Harry Styles in a dress is just my type. He looks so handsome. He looks so great. No. Incorrect.
Wow. Do you think that attractiveness is objective, Abby? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I find it very awkward that somebody who looks like Ben Shapiro in a wig can talk about attractiveness being objective.
As somebody who loves the fact that my husband is a man and is masculine...
Imagine simply loving the fact that your partner exists. Also, this is a wonderful freeze frame.
Seeing a man in a dress doesn't really do it for me. I'm gonna be honest. The thing about it is that I think that masculinity is actually really important. I think that men need to embrace the best parts of masculinity, right?
And what part about that is invalidated by wearing a dress? Literally none.
Masculinity, just like femininity, can be directed in the worst possible directions, but it can also be directed in the best possible directions. And it's so important to embrace the best parts of masculinity.
Like self-confidence? Because that's exactly what the dress is, Abby!
and of femininity, right? Women want men who are going to protect them, and that protective instinct is a masculine thing. Women want men who want to support them. That's a wonderful masculine trait. Men in dresses? Not so much. Men don't belong in dresses.
Wait. Men don't belong in dresses? Abby, can you please tell me, what is the genetic marker on the man that makes the dress fit? Please tell me. I need to know this deontological version of masculinity where men are predisposed for dresses. Abby, you realize that in various cultures, men wear dresses. And I know that she's going to bring this point up. She's going to go, well, men wear dresses in other cultures, but that doesn't mean it's okay for men to wear dresses in this culture. All that does is show that if it is such a culturally specific thing, that the idea that men do not belong in dresses as an axiom is completely and totally undermined by the subjective nature of this position.
In Western culture, it's not a thing. Men don't belong in dresses.
So I'm just going to go ahead and say right now, who would consider a kilt Western culture? Because I would. What does Abby think about that?
Because men should be men. It's a good thing for men to be men.
Do you think that Harry Styles stopped being a man just because he wore a dress? Wow, you think he's a lot more fragile than he is.
Not to be the worst version of men, but to be good, strong, capable men. The best version of masculinity is refining it and elevating it. But masculinity should still...
So, I love how she has the little subscribe button there. I have one of those too. This is your opportunity to subscribe to the channel, just letting you know. I'll go ahead and piggyback off of her animation.
Be there. Not having masculinity at all would be a real loss to us as women. The whole idea of toxic masculinity really bothers me because the word toxic implies that masculinity in and of itself is poisonous.
Nope! That is not what it means. It does not mean that at all, and for you to take that position, you have to completely misunderstand the concept of toxic masculinity. Toxic masculinity is what you're engaging in right now, where you are trying to elevate masculinity as some sort of axiom, where you are trying to argue that masculinity is some sort of amazing thing and it must be achieved, and that it is not just some subjective bullshit that we all fucking made up over time. Because we did that. That's exactly what we did. Toxic masculinity is the idea that there are particular traits and particular habits where masculinity is concerned that need to be disposed of because they are inherently caustic and toxic. One of those traits is what you're engaging in right now, putting masculinity on a platitude. When you put masculinity on this giant platform, anybody who does not reach that platform ends up feeling less than. And the mental anguish that they end up going through can cause them to spiral. It ends up being a very toxic thing, that they cannot be masculine enough instead of just being comfortable as they are, or as who they are. Moreover, you even said earlier in the video that there were negative aspects of masculinity that should be discarded. It's almost as if you understand the concept of toxic masculinity, but like with your self-care video, you've got to speak out of two sides of your mouth. You have to speak out of the one side where you fully and wholly understand that your argument's completely and totally bullshit, but you know that your audience is so nightmarishly ignorant that you have to appeal to them. And so you have to say this take, right after saying a take before where you literally defined the concept of toxic masculinity.
And it's not. Masculinity is a great thing when it's directed properly.
Yeah, I agree. Now, why do we disagree on everything else?
But just like anything, masculinity can be an idol. So saying that masculinity has a really important role in men's lives is something that we should all believe and understand. And I know that strictly from the perspective of, am I attracted to a man who would put on a dress? The answer is no. Next up...
Wait. So hold on, you know this self-evident axiomatic truth because you subjectively are not attracted to a man in a dress. That's your criteria. That you subjectively do not find this attractive. That's not a reason. That's not a reason at all. I can jiggle if I want to.
Let's talk about something that happened that was peak 2020 and it was really funny. It went viral on the internet and it was the Rockefeller tree. The Rockefeller tree is that huge tree that goes up and it is beautiful every year. But not in 2020. In 2020, it really looked sad. They took the Rockefeller tree and as it started to go up, some of the branches started falling.
So we're done talking about the topic? We're done with the Rockefeller tree? Okay. Well, if that's the case, then I'd say we're basically done with this video, unless there's something else here. Is that just you?
And I love these pants. They're super comfortable, but they're...
Okay, yeah, we're done. We're done with anything that matters. Abby, do not take your video creation abilities out of my book, where literally only 2 or 3 minutes of your video is useful, worthwhile information, and the rest is just fluff. That's what I do. Don't do that. It's a bad habit. You should not engage in it. I do not approve of you stealing what I just said. Also, you're wearing pants. Those are men's clothes, Abby. Just letting you know that I am not personally attracted to you wearing pants. Because those are men's clothes. Abby, don't. But anyway, that's all for that particular video. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please go ahead and leave a like and go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to support my channel and what I do, please go ahead and check the description below. There's plenty of links down there that you can use to help support the channel. If you have any comments about what was said in today's video, please leave them in the comment section below. And with all that said, as always, everyone, insert end of video tagline here.